There's a new kid on the block, and it somehow went under my radar. That usually doesn't happen with fan projects. Apparently this has been out for about 10 days now. This is Project Reignition, and I'm deciding to try it out on the Steam Deck today. I usually play things on my desktop. I have this thing I do where I just love trying out fan games on the Steam Deck. Think Sonic Triple Treble 16-bit, think Sonic Robo Blast, Project 06, that kind of thing. One of the things that I love about the Steam Deck is, like, you can play fan games and indie games that aren't even on Steam and get like a console experience with it. Now, for some background here, I like a lot of weird Sonic games that other people don't. I like Lost World, I like Sonic 06 Retail, I like Sonic Unleashed. I have some weird taste in Sonic stuff. I like a lot of the characters people don't like as well. I'm an Infinite stan, I think Zavok is kinda cool. Yet when it comes to Secret Rings, I don't like the game very much. I think everything about the game is really cool. Story, writing, music, voice acting, set pieces, everything. I absolutely hate the gameplay, which is not something I can say about the other games I listed. Wow, this is a fully functional menu from the original game. You can't play party mode though. That's like 60% of why you get secret rings. I'm done. I'm turning it off. I'm turning it off. Yeah, my one big thing that I've always hated ever since I was a kid was the controls. Okay, we gotta wait for the tutorial. We gotta pay DLC for the tutorial. Okay, I guess we'll start Sand Oasis. So fun fact, this was actually Kishimoto's first Sonic game. Oh, look at the texture of his fur! Is that an updated model? Wow, I don't... Oh, this feels weird. I don't trust this. I don't trust the fact that I'm actually controlling secret rings willingly. Not just from the standpoint of, wow, I actually booted this game, but also the fact that, like, I can move the way I want? The interesting thing about secret rings is that this was actually the game that started the boost formula. You can argue it was 06 with the Mach Speed sections, for sure, but the thing is, man, this is the first game that's truly on rails for the entire time. But, like... there's nothing wrong with that gameplay type, it's just kind of the fact that, like... oh wow, like, this is pre-boost Sonic, and I mean, technically speaking, this is the first boost Sonic, if we're not counting Rush, I guess? That on-the-rails, constant moving formula is actually pretty good for Sonic, it makes total sense. Wow, that's really pretty. Man, the fact that I'm just seeing upscale textures on this game, man. I'm so used to my memory of this game just being, like, a terrible CRT TV. I legitimately have not touched Secret Rings in decades. Kishimoto got better as time went on, but honestly, I like most of his games. It's just the fact that you can tell... ow. You can tell that they just really wanted to get in on the Wii being big and new and having motion controls. So they definitely just developed like a normal-ass platforming game and then just added all this mandatory motion control for absolutely no reason at all. Like, they literally just wanted to get in on the Wii motion control trend at the time. Like, this was 2007. They didn't know what the hell they were doing on the third-party side of things when it came to motion control technology, so I don't really blame them. It's just like, why did you have to taint the whole game? But either way, like, this game is full of sauce. Like, this is pure Sonic. This is still pretty accurate to how Sonic was before the 2010 era. The 2010 era, I don't dislike at all. I've been very vocal about that. But it definitely made things a lot cartoonier and more child-oriented, whereas... I don't know, the earlier 2000s were just a lot more edgy. And I think Secret Rings is a very honorable entry in that era. Wow, we even got the PlayStation icons, because I'm using a DualShock 4 right now. It's amazing because the controls so far legitimately feel very similar to if I was, like, emulating the Wii version, and I mapped all of the motion controls to, like, button inputs. The actual movement physics are pretty accurate to what I remember when I was a kid playing this game. Like, this just feels like a Sonic game now. It's really interesting, too, because this isn't the first time somebody's tried to remake this game. Like, people recognize the story, the set pieces, the enemy design, everything about this game has sauce, and it deserves so much more attention. But it's just unplayable. I believe their name is Locester? I'm not entirely sure how to say it. But they were developing a Secret Rings remake inside of P06, which is like one of the best engines you could use to remake a fully realized version of Secret Rings, because you have the actual moveset that Sonic had in that era. Because again, Secret Rings only came out a year after 06. But yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting to fantasize about what the storybook games would have been on a slightly more powerful hardware, and without so many gimmicks kind of getting in the way. I think the gimmicks were fine for Black Knight. I actually think that any Wii game where you wielded a sword and you had to control it by swinging around the Wiimote, I think that's just peak. Any game that did that was peak. I don't even care. The movement in this game, just the base physics are extremely different from any other 3D Sonic game I think I've played, but it doesn't feel bad. Like, he's kind of floaty, and he's kind of slippery, but, like, again, I don't really think that's a bad thing. Like, it's honestly really fun to jump around with this Sonic's physics, and to, like, switch sides on the grind rails. I don't know, like, I kind of mess with the momentum. So this full remake is being made in Godot, so, like, they don't have access to the source code of this game at all. I'm pretty impressed with how they've managed to faithfully recreate all the shaders on, like, the water and the lighting, and how they've upscaled all the textures and whatnot, and the fact that the physics feel so accurate to what I remember. You know, just without the dog shit part. Damn, I wish there were more stages in this demo, because I'm kind of fiending for some more Secret Rings. Like, I really don't mind the movement in this. The level design isn't bad either. 06 Secret Rings and Black Knight had good level design. Because of the motion controls, this game is meant to be played while you're constantly moving. And it isn't a bad idea for Sonic. Like, that's a thing that you want to do anyway, right? That's why you hold down the boost button in the boost games. But it just kind of gets lost in translation because you have to use motion control to do any basic movement. I'm pretty sure in the Wii version you have to hold the B button on the back of the remote just to back up, just to halt. Why? I just noticed that the window for this game also says Sonic and the Secret Rings Remake. It doesn't say Project Reignition. That's actually really cool. I love how at the end screen of these levels, you get the camera panning around the environment like a Mario Kart track. It goes kind of hard. But yeah, I mean, here's the verdict, right? You have suitable configuration options for any machine you run. I'm on the Steam Deck again. All I had to do was change window size, and it's perfectly fitting my screen. From what I was told, this game wasn't tested on the Steam Deck or Linux at all. This is a Godot build for Windows. All I had to do was add Proton Experimental as the compatibility layer, and it just works. It just runs. It does its thing. Now that's an honorary addition to my Sonic collection. I don't really know what happened to Project Wildfire for P06, but like that was also another amazing proof of concept of like what this game would be. But I think I like this a lot more because it keeps the original movement intact. It makes it a lot more of its own game rather than like some kind of stage DLC for P06. Man, this is putting some devious thoughts in my brain. It's gaslighting me into believing I actually want to boot up an emulated version of Secret Rings. Oh boy. Dude, just, the aura, man, the ring on his finger, it's just so cool. It makes so much sense. But yeah, there were some frame drops on Steam Deck, but honestly, pretty negligible. To be fair, I am also recording natively on the Steam Deck, so that might contribute to the performance issues. Download link is below. Please support the creator. This is marvelous. And if you're new to the channel, please check out some of my other videos. I do lots of modding and fan content related stuff, but just Sonic content in general. I love Sonic. I love Knuckles. I'm the Knuckles guy.